Hello, hello everyone. Let's do a quick mic check. All right, I think that sounds okay. Um, 1 minute, I'll have the cameras up and running. Might be starting out with a little bit of Dresden today because he is very hyper right now and really wants to play. And yeah, basically it. Alrighty. Let me get something for him and then I will get the camera up. Um, let's see here. Hello, everyone. Don't think anyone's here at the moment, but that's okay. That's how it is sometimes, especially in the beginning. Let me move this out of my way. Let me see if I can catch the little guy. He just wants to play right now. Dresden, I can't chase after you right now. Come on, little boy. Yeah, I know you want to. Ow! You bit me. Not hard at all. Um, oh well. I'll try him. Let's go bribe him over here. We'll see. In the meantime, let's get started on this. Alrighty, let's see. One thing I'm going to have to kind of decide is what am I doing with like some of the background details. Like this is a comic book thing, and just I don't know how much I want to get into painting all the details of that like fake. Actually, it might be a real comic book cover. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. We'll see. All right, I'm just getting my brushes out. Nope, wrong one. Where's my brush? There it is. All right, Tristan. If I can get my gloves off in time, I'll, I'll grab them. Tristan. Aha! I got you. Oh, Tristan. He just wants to go running. He just wants to run. Okay, go run. Run, little boy, run. Usually I chase him around the house. Um, but um, right now I can't do that because I'm streaming. So, oh well. Let me just check my stream. 1 second, I got a notification. Okay. But yeah, one of the things that um, in paintings I always find, not just paintings, drawings, and comic books, all that stuff. I always find it interesting how artists decide to handle, art within the art. Like if it's a painting of a painting, or a painting of someone with a painting in the background, or a comic book of uh, where they have the drawings of the characters, but then also a painting, or they're showing a painting of some kind. Sometimes it's real ones, and it's so interesting how artists decide to handle all of that stuff. Alrighty. What is happening? Hold on. One, one. Okay. Sorry about that. Just a second. I am having some weird problems on my computer. So 1 second. Let Alrighty. Um, I cannot see chat right now because I had to close my web browser. So let me get all of that back. Just a second. All right, come on. Here we are. Pop out chat. 1 second. For anyone who doesn't use fancy zones, just so you know, it is such a useful tool in Windows. Um, yeah, really nice tool. Okay, let me check that everything's still working. Um, as far as like, you know, being able to hear and everything about here. Is this working? Mic check. Oh, there we go. Okay, now it's working. Alrighty. Sorry about that. I don't know what the issue was, but all right, all back now. I can see the chat again. I hadn't really planned on today being the last stream, but things have been kind of difficult lately with work and scheduling and everything. And I just thought it might be a better idea to take some time off, try and regroup, maybe actually put out a video at some point because I have not had the time to do any of that stuff. And I would really, really like to. So yeah. All right. Let's put out some more. Need to put out some more white. Because I'm almost out of white, and then I'll be ready to go. For anyone getting into oil painting, um, always always get the big tubes of white if you don't need it for travel because you go through that color the most without a doubt. Alrighty. Let's see here. Trying to see, edges and stuff like that, what I need to work on. All right, let's see. Okay. So right now I'm just trying to address some of the edge shifting that happen. When I paint, um, I don't like draw in everything and then paint up to the line. And so my edges often shift a little bit, kind of, you know, um, just a little bit. And you can see sometimes it's a matter of like, millimeters, or if you want quarter of an inch or eighth of an inch, it's not a lot, but it still happens. And it will happen again as I'm painting through this, because um to get the like feather effect of you know, for instance, of the fur, you often have to um or I find it a good technique to paint, to brush back and forth in and out of the, fur, and that can create that feathering effect. And it's also something that I have to keep in mind is how important or unimportant getting all the edges perfectly in the right place are. Usually somewhat unimportant unless we're talking about like facial features and stuff like that. It's usually where it gets important. Everything else, nah, usually not all that important. Because I haven't really warmed up today, I'm going to start by bouncing around in the background areas before I start like finishing up his face and fur and everything. Everything's pretty much in the right place right now. I just need to like add some detail to his face, a little more contrast, some highlights and stuff like that. Um, but you know, those are like the finishing touches pretty much. But yeah, it's always a balancing act as far as like how much of the background, how detailed do I make it all? It's always a balancing act, but it's even more of a consideration for a painting like this, at least for me, because the the background is part of like what people recognize from the movie. So I have to, I want it to be recognizable, but I also don't want to do all the detail of everything in the background, because despite everything, I don't think like exactly which comic book it is maybe the most important thing, or getting the exact version of the keyboard perfectly accurate is all that important. I'm sure I'm sure it matters to someone, but um, generally speaking, I am not that person. It can if there's some significance to it, but if there is, I am unaware of it. So let's see here. As far as the keyboard is concerned, the details for the, like, individual keys and everything, I will do I will add some of that, but that will be kind of at the end type of thing. Hey, Des, you're here, you just hoping to get the pets settled? No worries. But yeah, like, all the little details of, like, the keyboard. I'm not gonna get everything in there, of course, but there are, like, you wanna round the edges, or I want to round some of the edges and stuff like that, but that will be probably towards the end. Like, I'm looking at it right now, like, there's a little, like, a little divot that goes right there for the you know, for that key right there. That type of stuff I'll probably put in at the end if I put it in, or how much of it kinda, we'll see. Also, a lot of these keys need some work because they're not perfectly the right shape, and they actually have some volume to them. So, I'm gonna have to do some of that as well. There's an artist, I mentioned her before. I think her name, I always forget, but I think it's Julie Beck. Um, she's a painter and a teacher, but she's a fantastic painter. She does a lot of still life subjects, and I'm always impressed with her level of detail, how she, like, paints the, oh, what's it called? Like, the labels on all the items that are in her still life and everything like that. It's very impressive. She is, really exceptional, um, in that realm. And I've tried to, learn from her just by watching her paint. And I think I am poorly implementing some of the stuff she does, but I definitely learned some things from her. That's for sure. But yeah, her still lifes are what I would recommend everybody to look at if you wanted to, learn how to do all of those kind of things, like the labels on and painting bottles, and just a bunch of random stuff, but random and well put together. He really takes the time and, like, designs her still lives, and the all the items. Um, Very, very well. Like it is, like I said, it is impressive. Personally, I have never been overly interested in painting still lifes. Done it. It's good practice, but it's never been like the thing that I find overly interesting. Uh, Megan Damage. Wait, is it Megan Damage or is it a Magenda? I'm sorry, I'm getting your name completely messed up. Welcome. Hi, hello. Sorry, I'm totally messing up your name. How are you doing today? If you want me to call you something other than Megan, please let me know. But I'm going with Megan because it looks like the first part, and I can pronounce it. Just Magenda. Okay, Magenda. I can do that. If I'm mispronouncing it, let me know. How are you doing today? Um, I am just trying to finish up this painting. We'll see if I can get through it. Given how fast I am, especially when streaming, I'm not sure I will be able to finish this today on stream, but we'll see. You're good? Awesome. Are you an artist? Like I think at this point, 95% artists that come in here, but not everyone's an artist, and both are okay, are welcome. I'm fond of painting too. Nice. What do you like to paint? And in what medium do you prefer to paint? This is oils, by the way, in case I don't think it was in the title today, but yeah, this is oil paints. I have painted with most other mediums, but oil is my favorite so far. You're fond of painting to scratch at home? Not sure I not sure I follow. I could just be being dumb. That does happen sometimes. But yeah, I've painted with most mediums and digital as well. Personally, oil paints are my favorite, but everyone's welcome, and we have people in the community who paint with every, anything and everything. Acrylics. Oh, you paint with acrylics and watercolors? Nice. I started off with watercolors and then acrylics. Originally, my well, I went to I took private lessons when I was like 15, and the teacher there was like, watercolors are the hardest, so you start with those. That was his method of teaching. Uh, which I'm not sure I totally agree with, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, um, I've used acrylics as well. I am not a fan of acrylics, but um, just in the sense of using them, I find them kind of kind of annoying to use. but the look of them is fine, like, you know. And I also think it really depends what you're doing. If I was doing certain types of art, I totally would use acrylics, 'cause they would be the right product to use, without a doubt. Have you tried oils? I know personally I was scared of them in the beginning. I didn't wanna get involved with it, but, I I kinda regret that, and I wish people weren't afraid of using them. Oh, so you have tried oils? Nice. What kinda art do you make? Um, is there anything in particular, or is it like, anything and everything? If you join the Discord, by the way, you can share your art there if that's something you're into. There should be a link in the description. I usually do calligraphy, but I'm not so active recently. Um, not so active recently in YouTube, I'm assuming. Why? Okay, yeah, it can be it can be tough. I'm assuming you make videos and stuff like that. Um, yeah, we have some people here. Quite a few people here from small channels, larger than me for the record, but that stop by and say hi occasionally. Oh, thanks, Des. I appreciate that. Oh shoot, I just messed this up. All right, I have to fix this. But yeah, calligraphy is awesome. I'm not. I suck at calligraphy as far as like, yeah, I just suck at calligraphy. But doing pen and ink stuff for drawing, I'm a little bit better at that. But like straight up calligraphy, it's not for me. But I do find it often very, very impressive because specifically because I'm not good at it. I'm just like, that's impressive. Not that this is what you do, but I've also watched videos of what's it called? Oh, thank you for for subscribing. I appreciate that. Um, people who do pinstriping, and that baffles my mind because I'm just like, I could never pull that off. Um, you know. So once again, I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just saying, but in general, like people who do things that I absolutely can't, I find impressive a lot of times. Yeah. I was just talking about the fact that uh, I'm hoping to regroup and start being more consistent with putting out videos. And this end of the year has been a little rough, and my output has been not great. But hopefully I can regroup and, come back and put out some even better videos than what I've done up until now. So we'll see. Have I checked my watch hours? I have. Not recently, but overall I have. Yeah. I'm not monetized yet. Um, Live streaming really doesn't help your watch hours, unfortunately, which really sucks because the people who watch live don't count towards your watch hours. If they did, I probably would have enough, no problem. So yeah, that's a unfortunate aspect of YouTube. Also, shorts don't count towards your watch hours the same way. They're counted separately. Very frustrating. Trying to get this comic book cover, but it's so weird painting like a drawing, you know, also in perspective. It's such a weird experience. But Maganda, let's see. Maganda says, "Hope I can help you with your subs at least to be 1K." Yeah, I'm nearly there. That's and so every single one I appreciate it. So thank you very much. And yeah, you can post. Like I said, if you join the Discord, you can share your channel there. I'd love to see what it is you do. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm going to be kind of regrouping towards the end of the year and hopefully start putting out more uh, recorded content because I think that will help things a lot. And also just hope I can get it, life stuff a little more organized. Things have been kind of crazy in that department, unfortunately. So, which never helps your output, as it were. Right. But I appreciate the sub. Thank you very much. Do you stream live? I'm curious. If I have a specific question for you if you do, but I'm just curious in general. Okay, right now this looks like a mess, but let me fix that. You do live stream on YouTube? Nice. Can people share links in your chat? Because there's a setting that lets you share links, but it needs to be approved, and they just don't go through. And I don't know why. I tried a couple times to set it up so that people can share links and then I can, approve them if I want to accept it or not. It never seems to work. I don't know why. I'm probably doing something wrong. but I'm curious if I'm the only one who deals with, that particular issue. Alright, I know this doesn't look good yet, but give me a few more minutes. This is supposed to be a person from on a comic book cover. Slowly starting to kinda come together. You did topic discussions before in my stream. I will help you reach 1K, not 100K, 1K. Thank you, I appreciate that. Hope I can do it before the year ends. Thank you very much, that's very kind of you. I will have to look up your channel. I'd love to see what you do. Um, when I had a little more time, uh, continue inspiring and sharing your talents with the world. Oh, thank you very much, uh, Maganda. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. And yes, I will. I just, like I said, just going to regroup a little from the live streaming, for just a little bit. And hopefully, like I said, I can start getting some videos out because I think the recorded videos actually bring in more people. And then if there's, more people, the live streams also go a lot better. Because one thing we did, we haven't done in a long time, and I really need to get more people to do it. But we do a Portrait Artist of the Year paint along. If you're not familiar with Portrait Artist of the Year, it's a TV show in the UK, and we kind of pretend like we're on the show, and we do it kind of like we're on the show, although it's not a competition. And it's a lot of fun, and I really like it because they get to highlight, like, all the people watching, they get to participate, and they can paint, they can paint or draw or do whatever they want to also participate in the, like, in the show kinda thing, and then I can, afterwards, I put together, like, a little reel of everyone who participated and share it online and give credit to everyone, and I really like doing that because I like encouraging people to, you know, draw more, paint more, just take the time to be more artistic. Um, so yeah, I like doing that. I just haven't been able to really put in the time recently, but thank you very much. I'm really glad you stopped by. I like people who are you know, encouraging who like to encourage others because I like to try and do that as well. I always, one of the things I really like about Bob Ross, like his paintings aren't my jam, but at least he kinda, he encouraged everyone to make art. Alright, this face is a mess, but I can start I'm starting to see it come I see what needs to be done now. It's, like, at an angle, which is hard, but I see it. Yeah, this is my Christmas themed, painting for the year. Last year, I did, a scene out of Die Hard because it's a Christmas movie, you know? So, this year, um, Gremlins. Alright. Alright, here we go. I think it's finally starting to kinda look like a person a little bit. I mean, it doesn't need to be, perfect copy of the comic book cover, but I want it to look like a person, roughly, with ghoulish eyes, of course, because that's what it looks like. I wonder what the comic book cover is. It says something man on the name, but I don't recognize it. You have to go to work now. I already shared my Facebook and YouTube community. Kudos. Oh, thanks for sharing. I'll take a look at it. Have a great day at work, and I appreciate you sharing. Yeah, I'll check your stuff out. Absolutely. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Des sub to you. Awesome. Yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to checking your stuff out off screen. Absolutely. Um, Des, you can share the link here if you'd like. I can, you know, that way anyone who comes in later can also, or who watches the replay can also check out your channel. There we go. Alrighty. Alrighty. Oh, awesome. Oh, this is great. I like your let's see, we have the waterfall here. That's nice. Very nice. All right. There we go. I can pin the message now. Anyone who comes in after the fact can see it. She does travel streams. Yeah, it looks awesome. And artwork. Uh, what- looks like a fun channel. So yeah. Alrighty. Let's see if I can't finish Gizmo at least. Also, once I finish, or even if I don't finish, but once I get Gizmo more completed, they'll also help me decide exactly how much I want to put into the background and everything. Like I said, normally, if this was a painting that I was doing that didn't have, you know, a known character like this, I feel way more comfortable just leaving, a lot of the background more abstract and so on. When it's a scene from a movie, I sometimes struggle. Don Lee is in pre-roll commercials, but says hi. How do I respond to that? Do I say hi back? Like he's not going to see it. It's so silly. Hey, Don Lee, welcome. How you doing? For anyone who doesn't know, Don Lee is a streamer on Twitch. He does digital artwork and sometimes plays some games. But he does a fun stream, and you should check him out. Doing good. Your painting is looking better and better. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that. We'll see. Trying to bring it to a finish, but don't know that I'll be able to do it on stream today. But yeah, we'll see. I was struggling with this face over here. And still kind of struggling with it, but I'll come back to it in a few minutes. Getting some bounce light. Oh yeah, absolutely. This whole thing is so full of like light from all different, you know, all these different angles and everything. I wish I could see the behind the scenes of how they lit this because there's so many different light sources. Oh shoot, it's almost 7. Okay. I am not gonna go anywhere. Um, but I'm gonna have to mute myself for a minute because I have to make a phone call. So I'm gonna mute myself and make this phone call, but I'll still be here. I just, like I said, I have to mute myself and have to make this phone call. All right. Okay, I'm back. I just had to uh, double check that. Alrighty. All right. Uh, Conley says, I've heard one of the new AI trends is making fake behind the scenes videos. I don't know about videos, but I've seen fake behind the scenes images. Yeah, absolutely. One was like someone showed like how they made like behind the scenes shots of uh the one what was the one I saw? Um Home Alone. But it was completely fake. Like, they had them like at a like, in a green screen and stuff like that. And it's like, they didn't do all that stuff back then. Well, the thing is, if they make a still image, they can then take that still image and turn it into a video. So, you know, it's like they can just do that stuff now. I don't know why they would want to do it. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand the point of it. But people make a ton of stuff now, and I don't understand. But like why they're doing it half the time. But you know, what do I know? I mean, a lot of the AI stuff I don't understand. I don't understand why anyone would even make it. And don't get me wrong, some of it I totally understand why people make it. And even if I disagree with it, I understand why they do it at least. But so much of it is so pointless. I don't understand, like, you know, yeah, I don't understand why they even produce it. So I don't know. I suppose that's why it's called slop. Definitely, definitely one of the reasons it's called slop. But I mean, that is one of the fundamental differences between like people who make slop like that and artists, right? Like, um, in the sense of like when there was that whole thing with I don't know if you heard about it, but this guy was posting his uh his daughter's drawings and stuff online, and someone took the that one of her drawings and fed it to Nano Banana to improve it, and that was that whole thing, blew up online. But the thing that they don't seem to understand is it's not solely about the final product. People want to actually make the thing. I wouldn't want to, not make the paintings I make. Like having the final image is important, but without the experience of making it, I don't know why I would do it. Like if, let's say every time um I painted, I got super drunk and, basically blackout drunk. And the next day when I, woke up, I would just find the finished painting and not ever remember the experience of painting. I wouldn't continue to paint. Like, that would be so pointless. Like what would be the why would I even bother? I also wouldn't get blackout drunk all the time, but in this hypothetical, I don't see the point in it, you know. So what's the point of getting you know, some program to do it all for me? It's so pointless. This says we went to the vet earlier, and there was a sign on the wall saying they are recording our conversations and computerizing it to add to the file so they can concentrate on treating the pet and our experience rather than taking a bunch of notes. I mean that makes sense. That I don't have a problem with that personally. Like I said, there, like this is a great example. I love, like I love some of the new stuff that says, I bet it's more about liabilities. Oh, absolutely, I'm sure. Lee says, this is my illustration of Leod getting blackout drunk and drawing anime. Oh, I see. The beer, my face, my hand, and then the anime. Yeah, okay. Very nicely done. That's awesome that you can do that with emotes. Very clever, Don Lee. Very clever. Let's see here. Get those nostrils in here. But yeah, that whole thing with the AI bro and the artist and his daughter, that was crazy. People, I don't know. People are just losing their minds. Oh, I was starting to say, I do. There are things I really like what's it called? I use I use my computer and my phone. They've gotten so much better at like extracting text and stuff from from images. I use that all the time to like copy stuff from photos instead of having to write it down or doing the whole or recording something and then transcribing it, automatically kind of thing. I love that stuff. That stuff's fantastic. Donnelly says, I've seen too many instances where audio to text gets screwed up. Not sure if that's what they mean. Oh, well, it, it definitely does get screwed up a lot of times. That's for sure. Even the like AI transcribing thing that like tries to, transcribe videos, or like auto caption and all of that stuff. Yeah, that stuff gets things wrong all the time. Definitely not perfect. Definitely not. But, the liability thing does it works both ways, right? Because it protects them, but it also can protect you as well. So, um, you know, I'm a fan of, uh, things being recorded. I wish I could walk around and record everything, not just for that purposes. I just wanna walk around with a constant camera on because that way I miss so many moments, like there's so many moments where I wanna take a photo of something and it's like a fleeting second, and I'm like, "Man, I wish I had that on video." Just, usually it's stuff like, you know, moments with loved ones or with the cats or something, and it's like, "Ah, damn it. I wish I had that on video, or I wish I had a photo of that." That's usually what it is. But, that's, I guess, why they're so, um, uh, precious is because 'cause they're fleeting, those moments. I don't know. I know there are, like, some cameras um, that you can wear that, like, take, um, a photo they take, like, a photo every couple of seconds to basically make a time lapse of your day as you go through the day. Um, Kinda cool. And yes, I know that there are those glasses that have, like, a camera in them, but, they can't take continuous video. If they had the feature to do, like, um, you know, recall video, the way that, like, some cameras now have, that would be cool. Donley says, "Oh yeah, the image viewer preview that comes with macOS recognizes text. It's really handy with foreign films and anime. Automatically recognize text, and then you use Google Translate or whatever." Yeah, 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 it's super useful. I don't know if Windows recognizes other languages, but it does recognize um, English, and then for foreign languages, I haven't tried it, but, there's always your phone. I'm sure Google can recognize the foreign languages if I need it to. Did any of you see oh, wait a second. Donnelly says, "How do you get Google to look at a text in an image or recognize it?" So there's a few ways. if you have, um, what's it called? If you have a an Android phone, you can just use um, like it'll wait a second. I don't know if it's technically I don't know if it's Google or like the Samsung software, but oh, I guess it's the Google Assistant. You hold the home button and it pops up, and then you can circle anything you want, and it will, like search it or copy it, um, or translate it. Uh, yeah. If you don't have a Android phone, you can do a Google image search, or Google search on your phone, but then tell it to use the camera and then search that way. That should work. But yeah, the thing where you can like click on hold down the home button and then just search whatever is very useful. They try to, you know, tout it as one of the AI capabilities, but like it kind of had that ability beforehand too, just not as robust, but also better at the same time. Because all the AI stuff, while some of it's new and good, most of it's worse than it used to be. Like the Gemini assistant isn't nearly as good as it used to, as like the Google assistant used to be for like basic tasks and stuff. Um, which doesn't make any sense. They're trying to remember. It was I think it was a makeup artist who talked about the fact that like back in the day before everything went to HD, like video and 4K, and then the 4K, they used to when they would do like effects makeup, the idea was that if you were doing it yourself and you couldn't see it in the mirror, basically, then it was good enough to pass, to be passable. But now with how good quality everything has gotten, they have to be way better at all that stuff. And the reason I'm thinking about that is because I'm like thinking about the quality of the video that I'm took the screenshot for, and how poorly and how hard it is for me to see everything that I'm looking at. I've seen some nasty thing hackers can do to people that use AI like Google Gemini to summarize their emails. Hackers will place invisible text that you won't know, but the AI picks it up and treats it like a list of commands. Yeah, I've heard about a bunch of that stuff, but um it it depends on how you're like there's a lot of variables to that and how you're using it, you know what I mean? Um, one of the things that's been happening now is that people there's apparently some scams going around right now Hey, uh, Maganda's back. Welcome. Uh, um, but YouTube is unfair. Okay. Huh. That's weird. Wonder why that popped up now. Oh, sorry. Now I understand. Maganda's welcome back. Maganda's saying that YouTube is unfair. They support AI videos uh, more than your own craft. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, I understand where you're going with it. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I have two chats going on at the same time. I have YouTube and Twitch chat. Yes, that's been a whole thing right now with YouTube, how they support um, AI videos, and I am uh, not a fan. But yes, you use templates for updates. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's always a it's a smart way of working for sure. What was I gonna say? So, oh, the thing that the it's kind of related to what you were saying, Donley, but it's not AI. People are sending people packages with small gifts in it, as if it's as if you've received a gift from someone. Like they'll um, like a what's it called Amazon package or something, and it has a thank you gift, like a thank you note with a QR code to say thank you to the person who sent it to you, because it doesn't say on the box. So you take a photo of it and use that to go to you use the QR code, to go to like Amazon's website to say thank you, but it's not actually Amazon. And then they basically hack into your phone or, do all kinds of nasty stuff. So got to be careful out there. QR codes are not very safe, unfortunately. Um, and Maganda says, just for shorts, not videos. Yeah, yeah. Well, yes and no. You are right, but they are also, they're not cracking down on the all the like AI long form videos, and those ones, they're so frustrating sometimes. I've been like trying to I'll try and look up something on YouTube because I want to get like I want to see if someone has an opinion on something, or I want to research a product or something. And all I get is these horrible like AI videos that just give you a list of like the best, whatever it is, whatever I'm researching, Um, I'm like, oh, I wish they would just get rid of these. They're not they're video slop, they don't contribute anything. Uh, you need to check analytics sometimes. If I go low, use AI to increase stats. You know, um, one of the things I'm going to take a quick break from my hands for a second. One of the things that I think is hilarious, and I totally support this, is how like you have they have AI tools now to filter through resumes when people apply for jobs. So now they have AI tools to write your resume, and then other AI tools um, to rate your resume, so that they rate higher when you send it in, and the AI you know that they use sifts through it. And then so now you basically got just AI like battling each other, trying to get through, and they send out an automated response with their AI, and then you can send back an automated response with your AI, and it's just like, this is very silly. Like, it's a very strange way of, you know, going about things. Uh, God, that says, yeah, I hate AI. I lost one of my jobs because of this. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it sucks. It's you know, it really like there are tools out there from AI that are cool and I like and that are useful, but uh the way it is in everything and how overblown it is just yeah, not I'm not a fan. Um Although I do enjoy the silliness sometimes, like I don't know if you've ever seen the videos where they take two voice AI programs on, like ChatGPT and Gemini or something on the phones, and they have them talk to each other, and they always have to get the last word in, and so the other one then has to respond, and it just loops between them, and it gets really silly sometimes. Yeah, that type of stuff is very, very silly. I think we need a little cat break. Oh, Dresden. Dresden, oh baby, say hello. This is Dresden. I have three cats, but he's the one who comes on stream the most. He's named Dresden after Harry Dresden from the Dresden Files, the book series. Yeah. Hey, little boy. Oh, they want to see your pretty face. Oh, look at you. You're so cute. Okay, I'll let you go. Mwah. Hello, baby. Yeah, he's my little guy. He looks big, but he's only like 11 pounds. He's not that very long, but he's very fluffy. Donley says I just started Proven Guilty from the Dresden File series. It's all Liad's fault. He got me hooked on them. It's a good series. The first couple are a bit of a slog, unfortunately, because they're so old at this point. But yeah, it's a good series if you like urban fantasy stuff. Maganda says I have 9 cats here. That's a lot. We have 3 cats and a porch cat that has adopted us, and we have a dog. I don't know if the porch cat will ever come live with us. We'll see. That's kind of we have enough, but we also don't want anything to happen to her. We actually started feeding her, so now she just stays in our backyard. That says 3 dogs and 8 cats here. Oh my god, that's so many. So many. I don't know if they actually make good pets, or rather, I think they make horrible pets. But the videos online make me want a raccoon. They look so freaking cute. Ganda says they are all strays. I adopted them. Two dogs too. Ah. Well, so here the our cats we adopted from rescues. Um, but they weren't strays like they came into our house or to our backyard. But they were, at the pound or something like that. The one who's in our backyard now, she just showed up and she keeps killing all the animals outside, which we're not very fond of her doing that. So we started feeding her, hoping she'll kill less birds and bunnies if we feed her. Um, yeah. Des says I'm trying to crochet and I have a cat who has decided I'm not allowed. He has taken position on top of my project. That sounds like a cat. Maganda, do you have main account, Laura? No, Laura is a mod, but no, Laura doesn't have the main account. Unless I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. Des does stream sometimes on Twitch. Um, but yeah, Des is also a fantastic artist, by the way. Maganda, yeah, Des did a charity event recently where she did a bunch of paintings that were auctioned off for a charity event. Really cool stuff and very good paintings. Only I'm glad you're enjoying the book series. It's good. I really want to see what happens. I'm really curious where things go from here. For- um, trying to remember the last two books that I read, but of his. But yeah, I'm curious to see where they take it. He kind of cleaned house in the last book, and I don't want to say he reset things, but he definitely set it up to be, kind of change a bunch of things. So we'll see. This is the part of the painting I always feel bad about on stream because I'm like, I know this isn't all that interesting because you can't see all the details and everything that well. But I haven't figured out how to like zoom in while it's happening. Or rather, I haven't figured out how to zoom in a way that like also preserves everything. Because when I zoom in and then I forget to track my hand and then I end up painting off screen is what happens. Ganda says I just followed you on Instagram for Des. Awesome. Yeah, Des is awesome. Very, very cool painter. And it's been great to see Des develop because when I first started streaming, Des was mostly all digital. Now Des does a ton of oil paintings that are fantastic. Donley says, I'm on book 8 of this series. What was the last book you read? Oh, good question. I don't know. I don't remember the number. I think it might have been, shoot, I have no recollection of the number of it. I don't want to say the name. Oh, I don't remember the name 100%. But I don't want to say too much about the name because the names kind of give away a little bit. So if you haven't if you haven't looked ahead, Donnelly, I'm not like I suggest you don't. Yeah, you don't want spoilers, right? Yeah, yeah. Now there's the last two books. Their title kind of spoiled it a little bit. I mean, it doesn't entirely, but a tad. We'll say just a tad. Um, but I don't remember what numbers they were either. I think it was like 15, honestly. I think. He's supposed to have a new book in January of 2026. Nice. Uganda says, my IG is not aesthetic. Oh, trust. Yeah, I feel you. I haven't posted in forever. I'm bad at it. I was like overwhelmed by it all. So I was just like, I'm going to focus on one platform, and that was going to be YouTube. And then I had a bunch of life stuff happen. I had to get a new job and all this other stuff, and it even that kind of fell to the wayside for a little bit. Donnelly says, and that will be book 18 of the series. Oh, then 16, 17, I guess, is the ones I read. The last two I read. As far as I know, unless I'm behind a book. I don't think so. He's not that fast at putting out the books. Plus, he has another series called the Spires, I think it's called. I like that series. One of the main characters is a cat, um, and I like that series. But yeah, that series is only has I think 2 or 3 books in it, the Spire series. For some reason, that made him look a little angry. And I have to soften that up a bit. So funny how like a millimeter can make a difference sometimes. And like I says, oh yeah, with expressions, the teeniest change can make all the difference. It really can, especially when it's small, you know, a small area too. Yeah, absolutely. It can be a real pain. Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's shocking how tiny some changes can be and how impactful they are. For whatever reason, his beard or his fur that like is around his mouth and his chin makes me think like I'm getting what's it called? Abraham Lincoln vibes from Gizmo for whatever reason. I can see it, Dunley says. Yeah. I think it's just the like white beard and having the hat on top of it. Like I think that combination, just the chin beard and it kind of does it. Okay, I just thought of a new crossover because last time thought of a crossover with Gremlins. And I just thought of another one. Um, the Untold History of America with what was it, Abraham Lincoln, vampire hunter, um, with crossover with Gremlins. Only says he kinda has reverse Homer Simpson. You always see the stubble around Homer's mouth and no hair anywhere else except the two strands on his head. Yeah, yeah, kinda does. Funny story about Abraham Lincoln's Vampire Hunter, the movie. Uh, Lincoln, a very serious take on a former president, and Vampire Hunter came out around the same time, uh, to the rental places. Oh, okay. So they were released for rental at the same time? Interesting. I wonder if that was done on purpose you know, to capitalize on the other one. Companies can be kinda scummy that way sometimes. Um, Marvel and DC Comics used to do that to each other all the time. One would come out with a special event, um, or a mini series or something, and then so the other company would come out with something that was, like, had a very similar sounding title to try and confuse people and grab shelf space. He says I was roaming with a buddy around that time. He's a history teacher, and we would do movie nights, so I picked up both, and we had a double feature with them. It's pretty good time, to be honest. Oh, nice. So which one of the two was more historically accurate, according to your friend? I'm gonna have to darken this a little bit here because this is as white as light as I can go, and it's too close. I'll darken that in a minute. Not a huge difference, but it makes a difference now. Nope, too bright. I just saw something I wanted to fix, but it's too light. All right. trying to kind of unify some of these shapes because I feel like some of them it's gotten a little broken up. So I'm trying to unify them and also add in all the like fur texture and everything at the same time. I do like painting. Um, there's these moments, not just in this painting, but in lots of paintings that I do that I really like, when it's the light raking across uh, hair specifically. It can give such cool and interesting textures. I mean, generally speaking, raking light is good in paintings. Like it can be very helpful, but on hair, it's very interesting the way it behaves. I think I took that one side out just a teeny bit too much. Let's see if I can't bring it in a little bit. There we go. All right. Now, this is the other hand, and it's very hard to see what is happening here. Let's see if I can't clarify it a little bit. Like, I literally have a hard time understanding what I'm looking at, but so it's a little hard to paint it when you don't yourself know what you're painting, but we'll see. There's a Dresden hair. Got it. Ah, I lost one of the fingers. There we go. I think that works. So what I did was I on the photo reference that I have, I brightened it up a lot so I could see what's going on here. Still not entirely clear, but a little more clear, but I have to remember that I am like lightening it up a lot and it's not what it really looks like. So I have to keep that in mind as I'm painting it. I think that works. And for his eye over here, add that. Is adding nearly black here to really, you know, darken up the contrast. Not finished with the painting, but I wanted to get those highlights in at least a little bit on stream. Although that one's too actually, they're both too much. That is one of the things that's surprisingly hard to do is get the highlights right in eyes. We have such a tendency of making them way, way brighter than they need to be. That's better. It's definitely not finished, but it's a lot closer than it was. I'm probably gonna be calling it a day in just a few minutes. We're past the 2 hours, and it's already 8. Um, I have to do some stuff to get ready for tomorrow. Also, I'm just tired, I don't know, for whatever reason, I it seems like 2 hours is my comfortable limit for streaming. Obviously, when we do Portrait Artist of the Year paint along, I push myself a little further than that, but seems like roughly 2 hours is my kinda comfort zone overall. Family says, "I get it. I used to do 4 hours of art streams, but now I'm 2 to 3." Yeah. Yeah, I know. I used to do those really long ones too. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but, uh, yeah, 2 to 3 seems to be comfortable, kinda generally speaking. Des says, "Around 1.5 hours, I start to headache." That's fair, Des. And I do think it's one of those things that you kinda build up to. Um, like, if I did it if I was able to stream more times a week, um, I think I might actually be able to stream longer, but, you know, sometimes that's not an option. You know what's funny is I think that this keyboard, um, some of the, like, reflections on it and stuff look weird. I think it was just cheap. think that's why, like, some of the keys don't have, like, a uniform or they have these weird reflections on them. I think it was just cheap. It says, yeah, I should be streaming more, like, doing the fan art and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I wish I could stream more, um, but yeah. Yeah. Although I will say, I do think that the, recorded stuff, brings in more people overall. Uh, you know, well, let me rephrase that. It depends, but for certain things, I think it brings in people more. Pretty sure I have an eyelash in my eye. That's annoying. Oh well. But yeah, um, thank you everyone for stopping by. I appreciate it. Aganda, thank you. Welcome to the community. It's nice to have you here. Um, Des, Donley, as always, thank you. Appreciate it. I am, I'll be back uh, next year. You know, in 2 weeks. Uh, I just, I just need a bit of a break, and hopefully can get some videos edited and get a few backlogged so I don't run into the problem where I, you know, run out of content so fast, so on. But yeah, thank you everybody. Appreciate it. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, all the holidays, whatever I missed, you know, happy holidays and Happy New Year to everybody. And yeah, I'll be back with more stuff. And of course, I'm on my Discord if anyone, there's always that. Talk to you sometime soon. Of course, Des. Like I said, I'm always on Discord too, so you know me. Um, but yeah, have a good one. Bye, everybody. See ya. Happy stuff, y'all. Donnelly says. Thank you, Donnelly.